Evening and welcome to another Simply Colorful Fibercast. Today's date is October 23rd, 2020. My name is Lynn Marquidant and I am your host. Welcome. And it's time to reveal what we've been working on for 8 weeks. And I know some of you have been wanting me to sew more, but this has been on. I didn't sew last week because this was still getting put together or actually I'd done it together. I'd done it and I had to quilt it. So I had to sew it earlier. Anyway, welcome everyone. Hi, Linda. Hi. Aw, thank you, Jean. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so glad you're here. It's a busy quilt and there is still one more week. We still have something more to do to it. So stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions, let me know. Hi, KB. You're such a good egg. Did you see how the road goes back and forth? Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I can't believe how fast 8 weeks have gone. And if anyone is tuning in and they haven't found the clue yet, it's on our Simply Colorful Mystery Quilt Along page on Facebook, or it is on simplycolorful.com. I got that to work. So, and this last one is just very, very quick, and it's an EQ file. And yes, it's purposeful that you have some blanks in here. So we'll see what that means next week. So keep on sewing. What I thought I would do, because again, it's all sewn except for the binding. I haven't done the binding yet. I've sewn it on, but I have to do the hand stitching. I am going to make a few more masks. Oh, check this out though. I'm down to 1 box of scraps. Thank you, Colleen, for accepting some scraps and paying me for shipping. Plus a little extra, I think. I may owe you some money. But anyway, I've been cutting up more scraps. I've got 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 2.5 inch, 4.5, 3.5, my 2.5 inch strips. So I keep chipping away at that. And like I say, I'm down to 1 bucket of scraps. And what I have here today is a mask. We've made this one before, but I did invest in a template from Creative Grids. I went to look for the AccuQuilt, the cutter. Why, hello, Pat. Hi, Kathy. It is unique, right? You can take parts of it if you want, or all of it. It's our COVID quilt, our COVID envelope quilt. And like I say, thank you, Linda, bright and lovely. As I say, next week, we're going to do one more thing to it. So, and I encourage you, anyone out there, now that you've seen it, feel free to change it up. Feel free to make it bigger, smaller, whatever you want to do. So, meanwhile, the masks. Do you believe it's getting to be Christmas time? You probably do. What else do we have to think about? So I thought I would play with sizes of these and size of elastic. And I know I've done this before with everyone. And really these, I probably have elastic that's too big, too little, and some that's just right, I'm hoping. Like this is too big. This is 1/2 inch braided. That I didn't like. So I have like the 1/8 of an inch. And I got some 1/4 of an inch that I might try too. That doesn't seem to be as taut as this. So anyway, I've cut out some masks. I think I'm going to sew that. As always, hi, Sue. Hi, Marcella in Little Rock. Sue in New Hampshire. Sue, imagine, well, actually next week we will imagine adding some people to it. I got a book sent from a friend. I probably can't show too much of it, but for everyone who might be familiar with Sally Maver, She has a display down at the Calhoun Museum for another month, I think, and she has all of her three-dimensional doll art and embroidery. She does amazing work. She's been doing it for years. And this is her latest book called My Bed, Enchanting Ways to Fall Asleep Around the World. And she has stitched up, look at those animals that she's made out of felt. And then the book goes on to describe how people sleep and what they sleep on in different parts of the world. And I hear it's amazing. I'm not going to the Calhoun because of COVID, but someday, if you're down there, go for it. If you feel safe and comfortable. But I hear it's wonderful from Pam. So that's that. Okay, let's just sew. So let's see. I don't need my walking foot. I missed you, sewing machine. I'm gonna put it down to put on my foot, 97D. Because on this one, you only use 1/4 of an inch. Oh, Jean, I loved your tuffet. And I'm so glad, I think, if Lima's out there, I saw her. I couldn't find your short answer. I couldn't find the staple gun easily. I didn't look that hard. Then I saw our friend Lima, who said she had a staple gun. So she may be delivering you one. She said she had to bring something else. So I thanked her profusely because I kind of got credit for offering to drop it off, and then I never did. So let me know if you still need a staple gun, and I will go try and find it. Of course, I spent the little time I was looking for it, spent the time cursing my husband, thinking he took my staple gun. It's probably highly unlikely, but you never know. Because I have my own little toolbox here. At one point, I painted all of my tools with a pink nail polish. Anyway, what reminded me of the tuffet was the seam allowance. That was interesting that you said the seam allowance is larger on the tuffet example. Hi, Carol Bell. Oh, you love the quilt. I'm so glad. With all the fabric you are cutting, you are going to be ready to start the Bonnie Hunter mystery. I really am. I want to do that. I really do. Oh, good. Jean got Lima's. Lima's is not pink, right? But she could find it. I'm impressed. Okay. Linda, do your feet from your old Bernina fit on your new Bernina? They can, yes. Here's the difference. On my old Bernina did not have the automated walking foot here, the built-in one, like Faft came out with first years ago. And I forget what that's called. And the feet that take advantage of that so in order to take advantage of that walking foot feature, they're what they call D feet, and they have these two-piece shaft, as opposed to my older feet. The older Bernina feet only have one shaft, but I can still put those on here. I just can't use the walking feature. Does that make sense? So yes, they do. And once you get used to the walking feature, though, I prefer it. It just gives it a little more control. Do you have a Bernina, Linda? Okay, let's make sure this is turned on. Now, here's a question. Okay, I'm going to ask a question. Should I use the same fabric on the inside or different? So I have this Christmas fabric. This is the large, by the way. And I have this Christmas fabric. Should I make it inside and outside with one color, or should I use both? I may like it one color, but I'm interested in your opinion. What does the crowd say? And it doesn't matter. There's no right answer for sure. There's no right answer. Oh. This pattern has yet another 2 colors. Okay, Jean, done. Thank you. This is yet another way to construct these, which I'm going to be interested to see how they work. Oops. Yeah. Okay, what did I do here? I broke my top thread. Oh, that's a bummer. Now I have to pull it out through the top. I don't like that because it pulls all the lint back up through the machine. I still haven't brought this machine in because the wait, they say, is a couple of months. I don't want to be without it that long. Oh, I'm so glad everyone's out there. 2 colors. Thanks. Been thinking about getting a new Bernina lately. Yes, I have a 440 and a 7. Oh, if you already have a 790 for embroidery. Oh, 730. I love it. But that's the answer. And do either of yours, does the 730 have the big bobbin? And of course, the automatic cutter and the automatic threader. My old Bernina didn't use these big bobbins. And I've been seeing discussion online about the bobbins. You know how the bobbins on this big machine have sensors. So on the bottom of these bobbins, see that quote unquote mirror or metal, silver? People are saying it wears off. I've not encountered that yet at all. And I've even seen posts about people either putting clear nail polish on it to keep it from getting scratched, or then I saw one actually using silver paint. I wouldn't have guts to do that at this point. That just seems like it would introduce new particles, but I've not had any issue with that, but that's a different thing. Okay, so we have 2 of those. Now let's do 2 of these. The weather around here and in your neck of the woods, I've been seeing, looks beautiful. Hi, Carol. You like the quilt? Yes, pause the feed to take it all in. I know. And like I say, there's more to it next week. And that is the goal. It's not one of those quilts that you see. I am thinking, and I think I'm going to put it on Bob's in My Bed. I'm thinking it's one of those quilts that you might be lying in bed, say reading. Now in the ages of COVID, we have a little more time, hopefully, to be in bed. I can imagine looking at it more and kind of exploring what's in there. Okay, so now I have to clip these so it turns. Hi, Julie Kennedy, if you're out there. Okay, so the 730 doesn't have the big bobbin. I wonder if they'll run any trade-in specials. I know that my friend Sue, who's on here, she was able to get a brand new Bernina out of the box from a line that, quote unquote, was, I don't know if it was being retired or they had upgraded. And that seemed like the way to go. Okay. I'm envious. There's nothing like thinking about a new machine. And it will be forever until I can think about getting a new machine now. So hopefully I'm doing this right, and I iron them all to the same side, and then they'll nest, right? And I wash my masks all the time. So I like to do double seams so that they hopefully last a little bit. And since I'm not going places, I'm not losing them like I do tend to lose things. Okay, let's see if that is going to work. Yes. Okay, so before I sew them together, I'm not going to reinforce the seam. No, I'm not. No, because they look so pretty without it. And I only have gray thread in there. So let's take one of each. And then it says, does the quilt have a name? You can make up endless stories about the neighborhood. Exactly. Jean, that's what I was thinking. In fact, that's why at one point, I don't know if I actually did it, I included other types of people in it. Like there was a baby carriage and a rattle. So if you had a lot of family, you could put those in. It's got to have something about COVID or this year, 2020. I think you're onto something. It's just meant to be fun. It could be commemorative. It could be a wedding quilt. You could put someone's name somewhere on it. But for me, no. And I was thinking of putting a start and stop sign at the top, and you go down and then you stop, or do you go on to the next chapter? That's where, if I were a reader, I would have some good ideas. But that is the thought, that it would be, it doesn't have a name. I've been thinking of calling it the Village Quilt, but I think everyone's going to have to name it themselves, their own, make up their own story. Okay, so it says I put them right sides together, right? Then for the large mask, I cut elastic 7.5 inches. So that's without pulling it, right? The large might be awfully large. Okay, so there are 2 pieces of elastic. I'm sure, Sue, you've done this, right? Clip the curves, okay. Place the units using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, sew the right end side seam and the left side seam. Okay, so I don't need the the elastic yet. All I need to do is sew each seam. Be nice if this works out well. There's one side. Kind of made a big 1/4 inch seam there. I know, you'll never get any sleep. Linda's asking, is my Merdina a 580? It's a B790. I had a 590 or 580. And I traded without the embroidery. And I traded it in for this one. Same basic machine, just more features on this one. And wider throat. And I got it with the embroidery. And it had the the other one had the big bobbin too. I never bonded with that one like I bonded with this one. Okay, now I'm taking the elastic. This is where I need to make multiple stitches on it, back and forth. Yeah, this is right. Okay. Look, it's caught. One thing I would consider the Janome more seriously than I did before, based on other people's experiences, my sister's experience with it. Yours is still really new. Yes. Oh my, yes, exactly. Oh my is right. Let's just say my husband does not know about this machine. That he doesn't know the details. Just like, oh, KB, you're going to laugh about this. Oh my. I remember KB, she dialed into our open sew. Was it last Saturday? And they've been doing a lot of carpentry on the house. And she said her husband's bringing home a lot of tools, woodworking tools. And that day, there was a new router in the car that my husband had picked up, because I know that he had burnt out the old one. He uses it every day. Don't you know, this week, he's gotten himself a chainsaw, a battery-operated chainsaw. Woo! So, pretty happy about that. I tried, if my mother's on, hi, Mom! I tried to get him to go with the Makita, because my mother has one that she loves, and it has the Makita battery. He went with a bigger one, Mom, and it didn't, Makita, for some reason he didn't go with Makita. Okay, now I'm going to sew multiples of these. By that I mean I'm doing a double seam. I don't know about you guys, but when I do a double seam, I feel like I can smooth out any imperfections in my seam. I especially do that when I'm doing the bindings on the quilt. I usually, with my walking foot, will go around twice when I'm sewing that binding on. Does anyone else do that? It's probably a little overkill. Okay, so now it says push the elastics in to the middle. This is really fast. If this one works, this will be good. And now I have to remember to leave an opening, but I basically sew 1/4 of an inch. There we go. Go over here. Turn it around and do my double seam. Linda, do you have Linda Griffin out on the West Coast? If Linda Grant's there, hi Linda Grant. It was so nice to see you this week, and thank you for the banana bread. Do you have a long arm, Linda Griffith? I guess I thought maybe you did, but maybe I've got that wrong. Okay, so get ready. Now I've left about a 2-inch hole. And I goofed. I didn't catch the elastic on the other side. Jeepers! And I bet you guys knew that. And I did my double, oh, brother. Friday night. Oh, I have something to wear for Halloween next week. What's everyone doing for Halloween? We are not encouraging outings around here in Massachusetts, that's for sure. I don't believe, maybe in some communities they've forbidden it. I know up in Salem they're curtailing some of the trains going in and out, which I thought was really smart. Well, this is classic. Don't do as I do. Okay, so this is not a faster way if you goof up. Okay, so I'm going to push the elastic down just enough. And then I need to sew it in. There's one. Okay. Now let's see if I don't have to take the whole thing out. Maybe I can just... I went back and forth on this like 5 times. Oh, you do? What do you have? I have the new Capri 18-inch stationary long arm. I don't have room for a frame. Oh, Linda, that sounds great. Can you sit down at that? I think mine might be only 18. And I think Leah's is 18 or maybe 20. If I were to get a long arm again, I would definitely go with the one I have, but I would get a bigger throat. It just seemed so big at the time. So that's the only change I would ever make on that, though. I love it. I'm looking over because it's right over there. How many quilts I got? If Michelle's out there, thank you for delivering 4 quilts today. I have 4, 5, 6, 7 because of Sarah and Lisa, and then Jen and Pam. So 3, 4, 5 plus, I have 9 quilts to do. That's what we like. Ridiculous. So now that the mystery, next week we'll see one final thing. What are we going to dig our teeth into next? Is it going to be the Bonnie Hunter quilt? I think Carol's doing it. Maybe both Carols overseas. Oh, and I bet Anne's doing it if she's not playing Pokemon. Okay, so I just found the elastic for the other side. I was intending on making all of these masks during this hour. Okay, now we can turn it. There's my second one. I know the quilting division is on overload, right? That's funny. It's actually just perfect. You know that? I like to run the machine quilting division at about that rate because I don't like to get too stressed. And I like to have people get their quilts fast. But I do love that on overload. And of course, the t-shirt quilt making division, we have a few of those in process. And we're waiting for, on one of them, we're waiting for the child's fall season to end. We're waiting on a couple more shirts before we finish that one up. Okay, this is looking... Okay, way too big for me. But that will work for someone. And then they show you can make a tuck here. That might work. Okay, let me... Oh, there's hair. Ridiculous. Thank you for suggesting the 2 colors. Check this out. It's reversible. I do like this one. It's very subtle. So many divisions. Hope you don't end up with a labor dispute. Me too. Oh, we'll have meetings about that. We'll have negotiations. We'll update the contracts periodically. I do find it quite rich that when I was little, I used to play office in the basement, and now that's pretty much what I do as an adult. I'm not in the basement, I'm over the garage, but I'm basically playing office. Ooh, it's ironing up nicely. I've enjoyed watching Alyssa Thomas Oh, hi, Dawn. What pattern is the mask? It is the one that comes with the mask, the Creative Grids mask template. And it comes, there are 3 different sizes on this. Oh, you can't really see it, but you can cut it this way. It can be small, medium, large. Right now I'm making the large, and I think it's a little too big. But what's kind of neat is it tells you right on here how much elastic. Small, you need 5 to 6 inches, medium 6 to 7, large. Anyway, Creative Grid. And I don't know if I ever finished my thought about AccuQuilt. I see they have a mask die. Joanne's no longer sells AccuQuilt. And when I went to Emma's, I remembered seeing that she had become a dealer. She said they aren't giving the dealers the mask dies. You have to buy them direct. So I thought I'd go with this. Let's not go crazy. COVID, we got to get rid of COVID. Although we'll probably be wearing masks at some, I don't think masks are going away completely for a long time. But that's just me. I want it to iron flat. Why isn't it ironing flat? So who's doing anything new these days? Oh, I know. Dawn, it is fairly new. With the 3 sizes, how do you know which one fits best for you? Just how it feels on your face, I guess. I think I tend to like them tighter so that I don't have to keep pulling it up. Which is why I do like my tie ones. They don't look as neat, but I'm able to tie them on and not have to touch them. Oops. Oh, geez. Oh, God. Don't iron this elastic. It melted. Well, okay. So life is one grand experiment. This is the large with the ruined elastic. And yeah, it's too loose on me here. But, covers. In a pinch it will work, but then it goes down like this. This is how people on... Hi, Angela! Nice to see you. This is how people wear the masks on Carol Bell's bus. I just melted some elastic, Angela. All right, let's start over. And let's make, in fact, I'm even going to trim these up so that they're medium and not large. And all I have to do is put this on. I love Creative Grid templates because they have good grips. Like sandpaper on the back, Okay, so the medium is in 1/4 of an inch that way. This is not brain surgery, so we don't have to be exact, I guess. Okay. And we're going to try the other elastic. Okay. So has anyone been doing any other crafts? Anything new? And what's everyone's plans for the holidays? Oh, that's right, Dawn. We were going to talk about Christmas gifts, weren't we? In fact, you had a question, and I was supposed to look for something, but I didn't. Try a medium. That's what I'm doing now. I took tucks in the side of the mask. Okay, thank you, Sue. Okay. Yeah. I am going to sew down the middle. I want this to be sturdy. And that way it'll lie flat. Even though it's gray thread, that's okay. So I put my needle over 3 points. And I use 10D. Mystery quilt fatigue. Sue, I love that. I asked for a block lock ruler with the family, asked what I wanted, also suggested an LED light box. Man, I love my LED light box. That's right. You wanted the size of the block lock. Thanks for the reminder. It's 4.5 by 4.5. So that's this one. Down at Ryko, they had one that was smaller. Must have been 3.5. And I think they had either another bigger one or they had one that had flying geese block lock. And the light box that I love that my sister gave me is that flat panel. Critter bug. It's green and white. But that would be fun. Has anyone done a tuffet? Hard to find upholstery needles. Ooh, I bet. As in the long needles, right? I have a long doll needle. I have this one, Jean. It's 7 inches long. If you want it. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so that's nice and flat. Let's do the same on this one. Oh, you know what I saw that was so cool? Okay, good. You have a 10-inch. Okay. You know how Peloton has live people that you can exercise with, which I think is just brilliant. And I think I saw that there's a rowing machine that does that, and there are other things. Did anyone see, it might have been Chronicle, see the mirror that they've turned into also a way to show either stream live people who could exercise with you or do yoga with you, or you could watch pre-recordings. Wouldn't that be cool? So it's like a full-length mirror. You're looking at yourself, you're doing your exercises, and then on the mirror, there's your trainer saying, do this, talking to you. We could apply that to sewing, I was thinking. Wouldn't that be something? I still don't know how you'd see each other, though. That's the big thing. Someday I would like all of us to be able to see each other. But anyway, I'm prattling on. Okay, medium. How are we doing here? Ooh, we have to finish one. Medium, 6 inches. It says 6 to 7, but I know I have a small head, so I'm going 6. Now, let's see if I can remember to catch it both times. Okay. That side. That side. Jean, that's true. That's funny. Too much bra on. So what else are people asking for Christmas? You know what I'm doing? I'm doing all of the elastic now before I forget. This pattern, it would be easy to twist the elastic, wouldn't it? That wouldn't be good. But I do like how fast it works up. I'm almost done, I promise. All right. Ooh, I didn't leave much of an opening. Almost ready to turn it. Oh, Carol, if you're still there, we thought we heard about your school. And I know you've told me 100 times, but has your school gone remote? We thought we saw it on TV tonight. Okay, I left myself only an inch. So now I'm struggling to turn it inside out. And then we'll have a mask to show you, and we'll see if the medium works. And then I will let you all go. How about some peace on earth for Christmas? I love that. Peace on earth would be great. Now that's something you could incorporate if you're making your story quilt, your village quilt. You could incorporate some of those thoughts. I was thinking unity. I was thinking peace. Okay, I don't like that elastic, but now I have to make sure. Okay, it's looking to be a better size, possibly. Okay, now that one just barely, see, I need the big one for my chin, but that one does fit better. So the medium, and I guess I could take a tuck there. Okay. Well, we made something, we sewed, and that's about what we did. And we got to talk, on the eve of hybrid, we went remote. Lots of underlying reasons. Wow. Okay. Well, better to be safe. I think I'm going to close out because I think that we're up against, oh no, we have 3 minutes. Stay safe, everyone. Yes. On that note, that's a good way to go out. So stay safe. Make new masks. Make them for the seasons. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Thanks for making the mystery quilt. For those of you who have about had enough of mystery quilts, please feel free to just make it with the squares you have. We can tell a great story, even if it's a lap size quilt, I promise. Okay, with that, get psyched for Halloween, and I'll see you right here next Friday. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good week. Remember, do what you love, do something you're good at, and do something for someone else. It makes you feel good. Bye.